Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Okay, this is week one, so let's get started here. I am going to share my screen and we are going to get started right here. Yeah, this is part of the Hormone Harmony, right? Program you're signed up for. It is week one, and I'm glad you're here, but I'm also recording this because everybody has different times that they're available, and they might want to go back and watch it. So I want to go ahead and get started. We are going to be talking about the stress response, and so over the next few minutes, I want to convey to you just how important it is that stress plays a part and a huge part in hormone balance. Any of the symptoms, if you were younger, related to your cycle, that carries over to peri and postmenopausal women. So women 45 to 55, and then once they stop having their period for a year, they're considered to be in menopause. So it really is not recognized. It's not talked about very much. And I want to be clear, when I say stress, it's not only emotional. Emotional is a big part of it. But if you're carrying around extra weight, that's a physical stress to the body. If you're on medication, maybe you have hypertension, maybe you have, prone to high blood sugar, any of these things where the body is out of balance are going to cause our stress hormones to be out of balance. These stress hormones are produced from the adrenal glands. Okay, so they're adrenal stress hormones. So I want you to realize underlying infection, surgery, anything, we want things to be sort of short, right? If it's short for the body, our body can handle it. If it's chronic and long term that these things go on, now it really triggers a whole different course of action in our stress response. So the stress hormone, the primary stress hormone is cortisol. This is something that you are being tested for, and I would highly recommend that others be tested for it. It is otherwise known as the belly fat hormone. So the higher your stress levels throughout life, maybe something terrible happened when you were younger, maybe you lost a parent, maybe divorce, relationship, loss of a child, any of these things can trigger a stress response. If it goes on, now the stress response now starts to control actually how your body will metabolize your metabolism, how your body handles the weight that you carry, how much weight that you do carry, and a lot of other health factors. Okay, so out of the adrenal stress hormones, there's two, cortisol and then DHEA. Cortisol is the one that makes us, or you wake up in the morning and your eyes pop open and you feel like, I've got a weight on my chest or something. I have to go, 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 right? If you feel under pressure, go, go, go. Your breath is short, fast, your blood pressure is elevated, your shoulders are up around your earlobes. You don't feel like you have enough time in the day to get everything done. It's a pushing, go, 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 harder, faster, more, right? DHEA is the corresponding, try to bring back relaxation, try to bring that cortisol back down to balance. So as we get your results coming in, we are going to see throughout the whole day, because we're getting 4 readings throughout the whole day, where your cortisol levels are at. Maybe it's not bad throughout the whole day, but maybe it's higher at one point of the day, maybe it's high before you're going to bed, and part of your symptoms are sleep interrupted. Okay, so that's what we're going to find out as we get your results back. The stress hormones, cortisol and DHEA, are very important for all of your sex hormones, and we want those to be in balance throughout our lives as women. Yes, as we go through peri and post menopause and menopause, those hormones, our sex hormones, will all naturally decrease, especially estrogen, especially estrogen. A decrease in estrogen will put more weight on the belly, more belly fat. So as you're going peri into menopause and then postmenopause, absolutely more belly fat will accumulate, typically just from the estrogen levels decreasing. But now, if we add in that stress hormone cortisol and it's going higher as estrogen is dropping, now we sort of have the recipe for disaster. The weight starts to come on very, very quickly. It's very stubborn. It's very hard to get rid of and get off. Okay. So here I want to show you, this is the stress hormone cascade. Again, not a lot is talked about with these hormones. They're usually never tested, but they are usually the primary cause of women and going through midlife and weight gain. So I want you to realize all these sex hormones and stress hormones come out of cholesterol. So please let me know, okay? As we go through this, please reach out, throw something in the group chat, message me, let me know if you are taking a cholesterol lowering medication. Because if we see that your hormones, when we get your results back, if your hormones are very low, they're going to be low anyway because of, again, your age, and we're looking at, again, where these are through midlife. But now, to compound it, these hormones are made out of cholesterol. So if the doc is giving you cholesterol lowering medication to bring your cholesterol down, it's also bringing down all your hormones. And that's going to be another reason for concern and imbalances. This doesn't just happen for women, it happens in men. And, typically you can have guys, your husbands, your sons, your partner, whoever, they just don't feel themselves, right? That because lowering the cholesterol will drop their testosterone even more so, and that is going to cause an imbalance for the guys. So they're going to feel not as virile, their libido is going to be low. Same for you, though. And then their just their muscle strength, the ability to do work around the house, their stamina, all those things are going to be low. And some women, we sort of joke about, well, a wife will say, well, that must be my husband's problem because he doesn't do any work around the house. Well, I'm not going to say that could be, but let's get it tested, right? But so for you guys, we need to have healthy cholesterol levels. So we need to have enough, and it has to be healthy, not being oxidized is what I'm trying to say. Cholesterol turns into pregnenolone. Pregnenolone is known as the mother of all hormones. So cholesterol is the backbone. Pregnenolone, the mother of all hormones, is made from cholesterol. Pregnenolone then converts into progesterone, and progesterone turns into cortisol. So another consideration for women at this age is they're trying to take matters into their own hands, and they feel sort of tired, strung out, stressed out. And so what they do is decide, well, I'm going to go natural, and I'm going to do a natural, maybe a yam wild yam cream because I hear I need more progesterone. So they're slathering this yam cream on their body, hoping it'll help with hot flashes and other things. And guess what happens? They're under stress. That yam, wild yam lotion cream is going to, yes, your body will absorb it. It will be progesterone, but it can now turn that into more cortisol. So for some women, trying to do something natural, even and and it could be a progesterone medication too prescribed. Don't get me wrong; it's not just natural things. It could be a progesterone, any type of cream, lotion, natural or medication. If we don't know where that woman's stress levels are, that progesterone can just jack up the cortisol. And guess what happens? That's right. It makes her gain weight even faster right in the belly. So we have to be smart about this. And we don't want to just sort of do things willy-nilly, because then we can start to see more symptoms come on. And boy, that's just not what we want to deal with, more symptoms and more weight. So the other thing that happens here is, remember I said there is two adrenal stress hormones. Cortisol is the one that causes the stress. So if we get this to come down and convert, right, all this comes down, and it should convert naturally. But if a woman is under a great deal of stress, this pathway will be hijacked, and all this will just keep converting to cortisol. And so now it's like their nervous system, their body is on fire. They're just ready to implode, right? It's that saying I say, if you feel like emotionally, if it's the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? If one more thing goes wrong, you're just ready to blow a gasket, right? If you feel angry, or you just, this is it. All this is going right into cortisol, and it's just getting you amped up more, but it's going to cause you to gain more weight. The DHEA, which is the corresponding sort of calming, also comes from pregnenolone. Again, remember, the mother of all hormones. It converts into DHEA. So we want this to actually start to balance out. But again, if it's runaway stress, chronic stress, lifelong stress, chances are this pathway to the left, down to the cortisol, is just sort of ingrained in you, whether it's physical stress, emotional stress, spiritual stress. It just feels like more and more is getting piled on. Okay. And so this now becomes, like I said, the chronic stress is that little DHEA that's being made. It just can't keep up, because this whole left-hand side of the cycle just keeps going in a vicious cycle. As fast as your body can make the cortisol, it's going to do it. It's the beast. It's the cortisol beast, right? It's just going to drive it. And what will happen is it will shunt, even though you need that DHEA, that cortisol becomes sort of the hog of the whole hormone system, and it just takes all that pregnenolone, the progesterone, and just keeps driving. More and more cortisol is being made. So again, more stress, higher blood pressure, sleep is disrupted, more weight is gained. It's just an ongoing vicious cycle. Okay. So here we have sort of the overall now, not just the stress cycle. This is your whole cycle, and we are testing these hormones, all of them. So we're doing your DHEA, we're doing your cortisol. So these are the ones for stress. We're checking your pregnenolone, your testosterone, and your estrogen. Okay. So these, whenever you have your test kit set in, make sure you let us know. It usually takes about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, to get those results back. So we want to do that as quickly as we can, so we have plenty of time for you and I to meet, to go over your results, and then formulate our plan. Now, again, what I said is pregnenolone is the mother of all hormones. So we also have these hormones. All these things are affected too. Insulin is a hormone, and insulin is correlated with how much weight you're carrying around. Thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, have to do with your metabolism. So a lot of the stress symptoms, women might chalk up to it must be my thyroid, it must be my thyroid, it must be my thyroid. And the reason they get sort of stuck on that mantra is nobody is ever talking to them about, nor are practitioners checking these adrenal stress hormones. And then neurotransmitters as well. So in our brain, our neurotransmitters, are they balanced? So the more this system can go to producing cortisol, the more stressed out someone becomes, the more the neurotransmitters become imbalanced. And so now we can start to see a lot of anxiety, depression, and or antidepressant usage, prescriptions, panic type feelings. So we want to, and we will overall look at all of these hormones. They're being tested for you. But today's meeting, today's educational session is really, I wanted to focus on stress hormones and give you a little bit of information of how these hormones all interact with each other, because this might be completely new info for you. Okay. So now we have when not only is it potentially the cortisol is a problem, but now each step along the way, right? More cortisol, the woman feels like she's going to blow a gasket, implode. That means there's less of these hormones over here being made, lower estrogen, more cortisol, more weight gain. More cortisol, lower testosterone, low libido, losing muscle, okay? More fatigued. So the same symptoms we talked about, we correlate with guys with testosterone, endurance, lack of motivation. We're going to see it with women and testosterone as well. And then the other part of this is not only are we worried about the hormone levels, but we're worried about the health of your hormone receptors. So I want you to think of a receptor sort of like a satellite dish, right? You see these satellite dishes. A hormone would be like a ball that comes and fits right in that satellite dish, right? Or a ball and glove. The ball's going to be the hormone. The glove is a receptor. The ball fits in the glove and shares the signal with the receptor of the signal is what should the body be doing? What should that organ, what should that gland, what should that part of the body be doing? So, okay, this is week one presentation. I'm going to try to get these again taped, so the educational portion you can watch it. You can watch it multiple times if you want to, and then we'll have our Q&A live. But if you have questions, make sure you submit them, because I will try to answer them for the group. Okay, so make sure we're getting that done for you, all your questions answered. And trust me, as soon as we get the labs back in, we will be having reaching out to you, letting you know, let's get scheduled to go over your labs. And then also to in the coming days and week, I will share with you what you're going to be doing with that hormone receptor detox that we just touched on. Okay, so all right, I'll be talking to you soon here in our live Q&A session. Okay, take care. Bye.